Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So after yesterday's rally, XRP has now come back down, trading at about 49.8, so just shy of 50 cents. We did get some good news yesterday from the courts, and I have a feeling this is likely what is dictating some of this price movement. XRP did rally from about 46.5 cents all the way to about 55 cents yesterday, and now it's back down just at about 50 cents. It's not helping that Bitcoin has also seen a bit of a slump. We did reach a new high for Bitcoin back on March 13th of about almost $62,000. It was about 61,700. We did see some peaks, some valleys. Bitcoin did retrace back up to the $60,000 mark, a good psychological level. And now it is sliding back down, trading at the time of this recording at about $56,000. It's on a lot of our minds. How long is this bull run going to go? Some people are saying by the end of 2021, others are saying by the end of 2022. Some are even saying that this is going to be a monster rally, the rally that will beat out all rallies, and that you and I cannot even comprehend how long this rally is going to go on for. Now, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see the future, and predicting time is one of the most difficult things to do with regards to markets. Even in the crypto market, we have seen the rallies tend to go on for longer and longer periods of time. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pinpoint when we could finally see the top for Bitcoin, and therefore when we could finally see coins like XRP reach their tops of, what are we estimating, roughly $10 to $13 at the worst case scenario, and hopefully above that. So we have to take a look at some history, and I wanted to mention this thread here from XR Patience first. Before I get into this though, guys, I do want to remind you that we are looking to hit 70,000 subscribers by March 31st, so please do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. I am giving away 2 Ledger Nanos, an S and an X, but you got to be subscribed to be eligible to win. Let me get into this though. XR Patience posted this a couple of days ago now. Multiple analysts I follow are calling for this crypto bull run to last longer than the previous ones, most notably 360 Trader, who says it's likely to last until September of 2022. I agree, but for a very different reason. Here's why, and it's very exciting for XRP. So let me get into this first, then I'm going to analyze some of these numbers. So assets always retest their 21-week EMA, which is the exponential moving average, which is an average of the price over a given period of time. In this last bull run, Bitcoin retested the 21-week EMA multiple times, as seen in this chart here. So he draws this out with the EMA line here and some yellow circles. You guys can see Bitcoin retesting that EMA throughout the last bull run. He goes on to say the longest time in between retests in the last bull run was 154 days. The time in between retests varied, but it happened more than half a dozen times. Prices don't go up forever. People want to take profits. News spooks the market, whatever. This is normal. In the current bull run, after the crash of March 2020 and Bitcoin finally breaking up through its 21-week EMA, Bitcoin has only retested its 21-week EMA once in August of last year. It took 126 days to do so, and so he chose another screen grab here with the Bitcoin chart demonstrating it retesting that EMA back in August. As of today, though, it's been 196 days since the last retest, and again, he posted this a couple of days ago, of the 21-week EMA. Were Bitcoin to test the 21-week EMA today, that would give it an average of 161 days between retests. Multiply that times 6 retests in the bull run, and you get 966 days, or about 2.6 years. That would put the bull run ending in November of 2022, which is pretty close to 360 Trader's prediction of September of 2022 estimate. However, Bitcoin did not retest the 21-week EMA today. There's no telling how long it will before it finally does. Of course, this could just be the longest time between retests Bitcoin will have this bull run, so the average days between them may end up being shorter. Then again, there were 8 retests last bull run, not 6, so the math gets rather fuzzy and hard to pinpoint down. Regardless of the specifics, Bitcoin has currently spent 127% longer above the 21-week EMA than it ever did in the previous bull run, and that indicates that bullish sentiment is incredibly strong and likely to far outlast the previous cycle. Analysts are currently calling calling for alts to really take off. The market is primed for it, and the charts look the way they did in the past bull run. When the alt season began, there was one alt season in 2013 and 2 alt seasons in 2017. So what does this mean for XRP? If we're only just now about to see the first alt season and this bull cycle runs through to Q4 of 2022, that indicates to me that we'll again see multiple alt seasons. That's why I believe blockchain backers XRP price targets of $10 to $13 is only the first of at least 2 alt cycles. So I know some of you guys follow the blockchain backer, and I know the blockchain backer has said in some of his videos that we are only going to experience 1 alt season as of now, you know, as per the charts, as per the patterns, because we have kind of missed the boat if we were to have seen 2. But from my understanding here, from what XRPARTISAN is describing, is that since this market is going to be prolonged, we might actually see 2 alt cycles. It just feels like 1 alt cycle right now because we're used to the trends being shorter, and that first alt cycle will bring XRP in between that $10 to $13 mark. But that second alt cycle, that will get XRP to those sky-high prices that we'd all love to see. So he goes on to say, consider 1 alt season in 2013, 2 in 2017. This cycle is likely to outlast 2017 as 2017 outlasted 2013. Could we see 3 alt seasons this cycle? If so, consider Kevin Dixon's video based on math and history that puts XRP around $120 by the end of the cycle. What at first glance sounds impossible, or at least incredibly unlikely, if the bull run plays out long enough, suddenly becomes probable. Certainly not beyond the realm of possibility. Will it happen? Time will tell, but it's more reason to be mega bullish on XRP. So in summary, he says each bull run has outlasted the previous, and this one looks to do the same. That could potentially mean 3 alt seasons this cycle, and if that happens, XRP is likely to vastly outperform what most every analyst I'm aware of is calling for, except Kevin Dixon. He finishes this tweet thread off by saying, I have set reasonable targets for each potential alt season and will cash out a percentage of my XRP at those prices. I won't hold for one moonshot and risk losing everything. This is not financial advice, just my plan, and you do you. So very interesting analysis of the bull runs, and so I agree with this. Each bull run has certainly outlasted the last bull run, making for essentially longer bull runs. And so these guys are predicting anywhere between September 2022 and November 2022. So somewhere in and around Q4, basically, of 2022, this is when we could finally see what XRPARTISAN is calling for, perhaps another alt season. So an extra alt season on top of the current alt season that we will likely be getting sooner rather than later, which would bring XRP from $10 to $13. So it's an interesting observation, and I mean, there is no doubt these Bitcoin bull runs have continued on longer and longer. So I'm just going to bring up the BLX chart here, guys. This is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin, and I'm going to put it on the weekly for you guys, and I've already kind of outlined the amount of days it took for Bitcoin to go from its former high to a new high in a bull run before coming back down into a bearish market, resetting and doing the whole thing over again. So I'm using this chart because it's got a lot of data on it, a lot of historical Bitcoin data, and let me start over here. So back in 2010, 2009, 2010, 2011, you know, a lot of the data for Bitcoin and Bitcoin trading was just kind of coming into its own. Okay, people were testing out this technology, trading it back and forth. And so I'd like to say that there was a lot of noise back then. And, you know, Bitcoin did rally, come back down several times in and around that area. But for the sake of this exercise here, I want to take this point here, November of 2010. Okay, when Bitcoin finally reached this high, I know it did pop up again, and it looks like this trend kept moving up higher before it came back down. But I'm going to take that high there from November of 2010. The amount of time it took for Bitcoin to keep reaching new highs was so short at that point in time that it's going to be difficult to really kind of analyze this properly unless we can come to an agreement on the date. So I'm going to suggest anywhere in and around here, November, October of 2010, all the way to June of 2011. Okay, and you guys can see up here, that was approximately 217 days to this peak here before Bitcoin retraced, came back down. So it hit this peak here, that was in and around $20, $25, give or take, and then came back down in and around the $1 mark. And again, this is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. On different charts, you are likely going to get different values for Bitcoin trading. trading price. We're just going to take these numbers and we're going to go with this. So from the top over here, from June 2011, all the way to the top over here, this was November 2013. It took approximately 903 days. Okay, then we take the top of this bull run, of course, the prolonged bear market, and then the last bull run that we obviously, or at least some of us obviously remember, was December 2017. So that was 1,477 days. And so now we're trying to guess how long between the top of the last bull market for Bitcoin in December 2017 until it finally tops out. And, I'm also going to look at price and kind of best estimate where we could see price go for Bitcoin. So there are many different models, obviously, to take a look at Bitcoin price. I know we've looked at some on this channel, and then we extrapolate, we use Fibonacci's, but this is going to be a very different type of model, and I'm going to show you guys that in a sec. So first, let's take a look at this. October 2010 to June 2011. Again, that took 217 days. We've got June 2011 to November 2013. That took 903 days. So I'm just going over this information again that I'd already mentioned. And November 2013 to December 2017, that is 1,077 days. And now we're asking, from December 2017, the last top from the last bull run, where could we see this next top go? So first, we've got to look at the days in between these bull runs. And so if we take 903 days, how many more days did it take expressed as a percentage from the last bull run? So I pre-did these calculations, guys, and you can see that it took approximately, and I'm going to take approximate numbers here, approximately 316% longer to get from here to here than it did to get from here to here. So that is an extra 316% in terms of time. Now, how long did it take to get from the peak back in November of 2013 all the way to December 2017? So that increase is roughly about 64%. It's actually about 63.5, but we'll call it 64% more time to get from here, okay, all the way to here. Okay, we're calculating based on 1,477 days back to 903 days. So when I look at these numbers, what looks similar here? First of all, I don't have that much data to go off of, so that's kind of unfortunate because obviously the more data we have, if we look at these Bitcoin bull runs in the future, 2 or 3 decades in the future, I'm sure that it would be a lot easier to pinpoint, some of these numbers because theoretically there will have likely been more bull runs to take this information from, but nevertheless, we are in the year 2021, and so this is what I have. So what am I going to look at here? Well, 316% and 64%. Well, if I divide 316 divided by 64, okay, that gives us about 4.9 or roughly 20%. So just to give you guys the math that I'm doing here, divided by 4.9 or divided by 5, just to make it easy here, that's about 20%, okay? So my thought is, if we add that 20% onto 1,477 days, where would that bring us? So if we take 1,477 days times 20%, that would add an extra 295 days onto this amount here, the 1,477. So if we add 295 plus 1,477 days, that could bring the bull run, this latest bull run, 1,772 days into the future from the last bull run. So we would start from December of 2017, the top of the last bull run. Okay, and what we would do is we would bring this 1,772 days into the future, and where would that bring us approximately? That's roughly where we're going to get it. Okay, so 1,771, I have it here. That would bring us all the way to October of 2022. I don't know if you guys can see that down there. That's where that lines up, October of 2022, which definitely brings us in that same realm of where XR Patience was suggesting we could see this bull run end. So basically Q4 of 2022, and he puts his prediction at November of 2022, and 360 Traders' prediction is September 2022. So just based on this math here, we can see, the bull run's getting longer and longer as we go. We could put this prediction here over in October of 2022. Now let's take a look at price for a second, okay? Bitcoin price, and I know there are many different models. Again, guys, I know we've gone over some on this channel before on how to predict Bitcoin price. I just wanted to take a look to see if we could find any trends, to see if we could find anything that was of interest in terms of the amount that Bitcoin rallied during these bull runs. And so this first one, we've got an increase of 6,639%. This second one here, from this top to this top, roughly over here. All right, that's roughly over there. That's roughly 4,773%. Okay, from this top here to this top here, you can see it's getting less and less. This is 1,555%. Okay, and from this top here, where are we going to see Bitcoin go? Well, that's what we have to calculate. So let me just delete that for a second. I was taking a look at these numbers and I was thinking to myself, boy, you know, what is a reasonable way to look at this? And, you know, my brain just kept going back to this idea that somehow the gains are being roughly cut in half every single Bitcoin bull run, which means that this gain here would be roughly about 750% off the top. So from 20,000 off the top of the last bull run. Now, as you guys can see here, these numbers don't add up to that. This is roughly 6,600. If we cut those gains in half, that would bring us to roughly 3,000, 3,300. Of course, I'm giving estimates here, ballpark numbers. And that number is actually higher than that. But if we were to take that value, 3,000 to 3,300%, cut that in half again, that would bring us to around 1,500%, which is indeed this next number here. And so if we were to cut that in half, the next gain would likely be 750%, give or take. That would bring us to about here for a Bitcoin price, give or take 750. There's 47. Okay, so right in and around here. So we've got the y-axis, we've got the x-axis, and this would be the point that Bitcoin would reach its high before it came back down. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but this isn't 3,000. This is 4,773. That's actually quite larger than 3,000. And I have a feeling that because this was so early on and because there were a lot of other things happening at this time, that I think potentially Bitcoin could have stopped its rally in and around here. But I don't know if you guys remember back in 2013, there was the run on the banks in Cyprus. And so it was in the news. There were a lot of people buying Bitcoin because they were worried about their national currency. And so that could have likely pushed the price up artificially for Bitcoin, which would have brought it all the way up to here. So, you know, again, I was just taking a look at patterns. If this number had fallen within that 3,000 to 3,300% increase, it would land us in and about here, which if I zoom in on this chart, you guys can see that is right in and around where this top level is. If we were to take a Fibonacci, it would likely hit that line there. Here, let me take a Fibonacci here and take it from the top of this trend all the way to the bottom of this trend. Boy, look at how close that gets. Bitcoin right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Whoops. Right there on that line. Right there, right where I was saying about 3,300%. Right in and around there. So if we can take this theory and we can assume that, you know, Bitcoin price getting cut in half, or rather gains getting cut in half for every bull run. So we have about 6,000%. Then the next one roughly 3,000%. Well, it was a little larger. But then the next one about 1,500%. We could assume Bitcoin gains could be about 750% over and above the top from the bull run of 2017. That would bring Bitcoin price all the way up here to roughly $163,888 per BTC. And guys, that would be the time that we would see the peak. Theoretically, of course, this is just another price model, just kind of estimating where we could see this happen. Again, bringing us to October of 2022, which is definitely in line with what XRPatients and 360 Traders estimates are. And so this is great because, you know, if you take into consideration the fact that we could possibly see multiple altcoin rallies because the trend is going to be extended longer, that could ultimately mean that the XRP price could shoot up anywhere between $10 and $13 on its first leg up, and then far beyond that on its second leg up. Okay, let's put that into perspective here. We also have the SEC lawsuit, right? And so we know that is getting dragged out and out. These dates are getting pushed further and further back. The clarity is just not going to be there for XRP in the next couple of months. And so the fact that this is being pushed out really does give me hope that once we finally do see that clarity for XRP, that could be the first leg up in that first alt season. And then by October 2022, we'll have the clarity. The lawsuit will seem to many traders as ancient history. And that's where we could possibly see XRP make that next move up to above $50 per XRP. That's just a theory, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. We have to hit 70,000 by March 31st. I'm giving away 2 Ledger Nanos, an S and an X, but you got to be subscribed to be eligible to win. And like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.